Hello everyone, this is Many Ninja speaking. Welcome back to the now officially 5th episode of the Rockman 7 Famicom port. In this case, we're playing a modified version where you can play as Roll, and admittedly it has been a while since I've been playing this particular version, mostly due to recording trouble, so let's see what I can remember. Alright, just before I get to the nitty-gritty of this particular stage, I just want to note that I am using a different recording program. This time around I'm using Bandicam in order to record my footage, and I'm also using a different microphone, which is actually the built-in one with my Microsoft webcam here for recording purposes, because I know my previous one was much too quiet in a lot of my last couple of recordings. So in terms of both video and audio quality, minus that one little hiccup at the beginning, please drop me any feedback, whether the video quality is looking good on your end, if my audio levels are high enough. Any kind of feedback like that would be appreciated, because I can then turn around and make some more tweaks in order to get everything better, so it's a better viewing experience for everyone involved here. Alright, and as for some of the changes between the Famicom or the Super Famicom original game and this demake here, as you can probably see fairly clearly, yes, everything has been demake or kind of downsized back to 8-bit style graphics, which is not really a big problem. It actually addresses a complaint that a lot of people had regarding Mega Man 7, being that the player character's sprite was just much too large compared to the rest of the stuff on the screen, and with everything being kind of downsized back to the original size, there are a few quirks here and there, but generally the size issue is no longer apparent, or at least not nearly as much as it used to be. So that's kind of a nice little improvement there. Another big change, which actually makes the game, depending on your boss facing, a lot harder, is that in the original Super Famicom game, you could actually pretty much hit any enemy boss or any robot master with a weakness and would cause kind of a flinch state, or they would basically get cancelled out of their attacks, and you could effectively change your attack patterns into something easier. That does not exist in this particular demake, meaning that much like the classic games, you really have to kind of memorize their base patterns and work around it, which in case of certain bosses actually makes them a lot harder than they were in the original game. Burstman was one of those cases. Oh god, I actually now think about it. Springman, of all things, might be a bit of a harder boss. And speaking of things that are a bit harder, this was not nearly as hard in the original version. This mini boss was actually quite easy before. If anything, I think that his attacks were a lot more generous. In an earlier test recording, he was actually giving me a lot of grief, and in fact gave me a game over, because I couldn't kill him in time. I was trying to kill him with the regular buster. Speaking of last changes, this is probably the most obvious thing. This is actually a modified version of the Famicom demake, which obviously changes the player character from Rock to his sister Roll. And all of Roll's color changes to the costume are not just mere color changes, but in fact whole costume changes based off costumes she had from the Powered Up series. There are a couple of other changes that have occurred here just because of limitations due to matching up with what the NES could do at the time, but I'll try to bring them up as they come up. Although now to think about, one of the main things I do recall is they don't actually have any copy of Rush Search, so certain items that could only be found through Rush Search in the original game are found by other means. I'll be showing off those as they come along. As we're here, we're actually at the end of the stage. Slashman stage is actually relatively short. The only real hard part I have to say is maybe a little bit of platforming and the T-Rex mini-boss. Slashman himself, it's one of the bosses that actually gets... I actually can't say it's too much an improvement due to the removal of the flint stage. While he won't slide around the floor anymore in a frozen block, generally speaking, he'll kind of chicken out the minute he gets hit with his weakness, which is the freeze cracker. He'll just decide to kind of abandon ship and stop attacking you. Mind you, if you walk right into him, that does not help. No, that was not a sound strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's try that again. Once more with feeling without me walking into the boss. Generally speaking, I should mention, in this case, if you want to use a freeze cracker, you really have to hit Slashman dead on with it in order to get the most damage. I think the original damage, where if you have even the partial hits off the walls, you'll still do enough damage, or at least elevated amount. I don't think that's the case in this particular port. Or at least, if you hit him dead on with the full shot, it does noticeably more damage, it feels like. Plus, it'll also cause him to kind of flake out and go back to the standard wall attack. In that respect, Slash Man is the only one that still plays by the original set of rules that the Super Famicom game had. And I'm getting hit silly, but I'm still winning. Alright, we're still good here. That's yet another Robot Master down. That makes 5 now. I'll need to make a return trip to this stage in order to get one last power-up, which I forgot to have the right weapon for. But for now, Roll gets a Slash Claw and a new costume. And because I actually have quite a bit of footage recorded ahead of time, I'll be actually uploading the next video in this set fairly shortly. So, until that next moment, which will be soon, catch y'all later.